Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. The Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program is a 30-minute radio intervention support program that is meant to provide continuous instruction to keep you academically engaged during this stay-at-home period, as well as preparing you, our 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for the pending Liberia Primary School Certificate Exam, Liberia Junior High School Certificate Exam, and West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Exam when the time comes. Also, in addition to this academic support, the program is meant to provide psychosocial support for learners, teachers, and parents, and also tips on how you as parents and teachers can provide support to your students and children at home. Now, let's join our teacher for today's lesson.
Hello class, my name is Linda Y. Dean and I am your teacher for the lesson today. The Ministry of Education's COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program, Grade 11 Literature, African Prose. Summary of the African novel Second Class Citizen, written by Buchi Emechita. We will be doing a summary of the African novel Second Class Citizen for grade 11. We will begin with a plot explanation. So for the background or the context of this novel, please do that as assignment. So let's continue with the summary or the first part of the summary of the African novel Prose Second Class Citizen. That's for grade 11. The main character of Second Class Citizen is a woman named Ada, who was born in Nigeria and belonged to the Igbo tribe. Ada is a young girl who begins to have this dream when she is about 8 to get to the United Kingdom. The novel takes place 7 to 8 years after World War II as part of the colonial educational system. Outstanding students were taken or allowed to study in Europe. Because Nigeria was a British colony, the United Kingdom becomes the land that Ada often hears about, and also the place from which people in her hometown have come. She hears her father speak about the United Kingdom one day, and a quotation opens, "The Ibuza women who lived in Lagos were preparing for the arrival of the town's first lawyer from the United Kingdom." Quotation closes. The title United Kingdom, when pronounced by Ada's father, sounded so heavy, like the type of noise one associated with bombs. It was so deep, so mysterious, that Ada's father always voiced it as if he were speaking of God's holiest of holies. Going to the United Kingdom must surely be like paying God a visit. The United Kingdom then must be like heaven. The story starts out with Ada as a young girl who is stuck at home with her mother, who does not pay much attention to her. Ada's brother is away at school all day while her father is away working. Ada decides that she wants to go to school too, and she sneaks from her mother one day and runs all the way to school. She has met the teacher a few times before, and she goes hoping that he will let her sit in his class. When she arrives, she disrupts the entire class by bursting into the room. The children all stare at her, but the teacher just looks at her and smiles and lets her sit among the rest of the class. Ada's dream is to go to the United Kingdom to study and to see the greatness that she is sure is there. Boys and girls, let's now take a quick COVID-19 health break and we'll be right back.
Coronavirus is spread via droplets when the person coughs or sneezes. The droplets land on surfaces and are picked up on the hands of others and spread further. People catch the virus when they touch their infected hands to their mouth, nose, or eyes. It follows that the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself is keep your hands clean by washing them frequently with soap and water or hand sanitizer.
Welcome back, boys and girls. That is, she knows that she is sure that there is so much great things or greatness in the United Kingdom, so she dreams of going there to study. The trouble begins from the first moment she realizes what her dream is. First, she is not allowed to go to school. Why? Because she is a girl and the family does not want to spend the money for her to go. She is a girl of her own mind though, and she goes to school anyway, which ends up getting her mother in trouble. Her next set of problems occurs when her father dies and she is sent to live with her mother's brother. Any money that her family had went to her brother's education, and the only reason she was kept in school, even though they were not very good reasons, was because it was thought that her uncle would be able to get more money for her when they finally marry her off. So Ada was not sent to school for any good reason. So if she became half educated, when they were marrying her off, they would get plenty of money. They would get more money on her. Children, especially girls, were taught to be very useful very early in life, and this had its advantages. For instance, Ada learned very early to be responsible for herself. Nobody was interested in her for her own sake, only in the money she would fetch and the housework she could do. So Ada, people, her family especially, only saw her as a money-making object and how hard she can work in the house, but not because she was Ada, a person. Ada, happy at being given this opportunity of survival, did not waste time in thinking about its rights or wrongs. All Ada wanted to do was to go to school. So, when the opportunity presented itself where her family allowed her to go to school for money reasons, Ada did not sit down to think about how right it was or how wrong it was, that is, their intention. She had to survive. This desire to persevere and survive in her society is what leads Ada on her journey through life. It is also the driving force behind her desire to never give up on her dreams. She avoids marriage over and over until she realizes that marriage might be her only way to continue on with her dreams. She then uses her marriage in the sense that she gets a good job and takes care of her husband and her children, and she saves money with the intent for her family to go over to the United Kingdom. The plan is that she will go along with her husband and both of them will continue their education and become prominent in society. Ada is alone, hoping for her dream to come true. So, as the story goes, she found herself alone once more, forced into a situation dictated by society in which as an individual she had little choice. She would rather have wished that she and her husband, who she was beginning to love, moved to new surroundings, a new country, and among new people. Ada did not want to be where she was anymore. She wanted to start new, she and her husband and her family, in a new country. So she said special prayers to God, asking him to make Pa, that is her husband's father, asking him to make Pa agree to their going to the land of her dreams, the United Kingdom. Just like her Pa, she still said the name United Kingdom in a whisper, even when talking to God about it. But now she felt it was coming nearer to her. She was beginning to believe she would go to England. The news Ada receives from her husband is not that she will go to England, that is, from her husband's father. It's not that she will go to England, but that her husband will go to England to study, to better himself, while Ada will stay at home to continue to support the family. Her husband's father does not approve of women going to England, and so he will not allow both of them to move there. At first, Ada is filled with rage, but she controls her anger and she comes up with a plan. Be as cunning as a serpent, but as harmless as a dove, she quoted to herself. Once again, she uses her smarts, that is, her smartness, her intelligence, to get what she wants. She sends Francis, her husband, off to England. Francis is her husband. She sends him off to England to study, and in the meantime, she works and sends him money. So, interesting, right? Talking about Ada. The story is about Ada and how she wanted to go to school so much, and how she did not give up on her dreams of going to the United Kingdom to further her education. So class, we'll stop here for today. We'll take it little by little. We will stop here for today because of time, and next class we'll continue with more of the summary on the novel Second Class Citizen. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I hope you listened very well. So, if you could record the lesson, it will give you more advantage to keep listening to it and take some notes, so that if you have any questions or comments, you can text them to 0778 780306, and we will address your comments and your questions. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope to talk to you again in our next lesson.